I think the music is the star of the show, being that it kind of elevates the show in a way kind of like a musical does.
The whole score is emotionally about celebrating fragility. It's about looking at things that we can't control in our lives, such as disease or death, and it's about exploring the pain in all of that. But then there's this funny thing that happens in music where the more painful you make it in the right contexts, the more beautiful it becomes. And so it's exploring that relationship between love and pain.
Josh is a classical musician, and I sometimes find it hard to access classical music by itself.
Our aim with the show is to take an art form which is often raised onto a pedestal, down off of its pedestal, and saying, actually no, classical music can be very accessible, and here are different ways in which you can connect to it. To do that, we're going to be contextualising my original compositions in a play.
So this show is a combination of both music, narrative and visual elements. I noticed that Josh is always writing notes because I'm his partner, and I found that when I first met him that he had all these notes that he had hoarded, and he likes to capture these memories that he has in the past, and he tries to make it permanent, and he always struggles with letting go of certain things, and I thought that was a great way to explore his trauma in his life and to explore why he doesn't let them go. He's basically captured all these memories about his nonna and about him growing up being queer in a Catholic school. There's also the notes that are quite mundane and boring, which were also included into the show. And to try and understand where it's got up to in his life, we've constructed this note wall in a timeline.
We're using the notes to try and understand where the music came from. And so we're mixing a play and a classical concert in this cross-sensory, immersive experience with projection and lighting and a script and staging elements. So it's this really exciting cross-collaborative endeavour. And what's going to bring it all together is the fact that we've recorded all of this music and we're going to deliver it to the audience in binaural audio via headphones.
The whole idea of the binaural experience is to give us a total sense of the space and an appreciation of the layout of the sounds as they were captured. So it's a bit like every person in your audience will be sitting in the sweet spot of this performance. So to do this project justice and to do it properly, we're using merging technologies, Pyramix. It allows us to record in DXD, which is currently the highest possible recording standard that we can capture in. It means that we can hear the sound, all of the sound in its original glory, if you like. We can hear the space without any compromises. This is some really beautiful music.
Our whole idea with this show is to present the classical music that I've written, but in a way which will be accessible to anyone. You don't need to be queer to enjoy this show, you don't need to be an Italian living in Australia to enjoy this show, you don't need to be a classical music fan to enjoy this show. We hope that there's something in this show that will appeal to everyone.